Today's arrangement uses warm, spicy tones to create a gorgeous arrangement in a tall candlestick. If this is something that you would love to do for Christmas, then keep watching today's video. Welcome back. Now, you wouldn't believe how cold it is today. We're still at the beginning or middle of November and we've had snowfall today. Now, I might look like I've got 20 layers on and I've added an extra stone to my body weight, but it's just lots of layers to keep me warm. Now, today's video is going to be recycling some flowers that I made for a customer and they didn't collect. So the flowers, you'll see, have already been cut down short. Now, this was a gorgeous hat box. The customer was unable to pick it up, so I'm going to make use of the flowers by creating a different design with it. Now, essentially, this is a posy in a hat box, and most floral designs fall into different categories. So this is an all-round design. You can view it from all directions, and it is in a round shape. So it's really a posy. And what I'm going to do is take the flowers out and place them in this raised candle holder, but in the same style. So I'm going to go round in a round fashion so that I create a posy arrangement, but in a raised container. It just goes to show you really that flowers are quite versatile. You don't have to keep learning a new style. It's the basic styles recreated in a different format. Now, this is a copper rose gold coloured candlestick. I've glued on, so that's just your plastic junior saucer that you will get in any florist shop or florist supplies. I've got a little bit less than half a block and I've rounded the edges off so it sits in my container. If you're a beginner, it's easier to work on a round piece of foam than it is on something that's square. And then I'm going to use my floral tape over the top to make sure it doesn't all fall apart. Now, there's nothing worse than making a lovely design and then it all collapsing right at the very end. And that is my basic mechanics. And those same rules will apply to any floral design you do. Make sure you have a big enough piece of floral foam, not too big that it's out of proportion with your container, and not too small that it starts to fall apart as you add more and more flowers. Now, I could do this as just an all-round arrangement, but I am going to add a candle. Now, my colours in this hat box, I would say, are sort of cinnamons, mixed spices, all those Christmas cake spices, so those lovely rusts and golds. And I couldn't quite decide what colour candle to have. I really love the orange, but I didn't feel that gave me a Christmassy feel. I also had gold, but even though that goes really nice with the flowers, it doesn't go with my container at all. So my next option was to go with red. Red is Christmassy, doesn't really connect very well with my container. It doesn't really connect with my display of flowers. So to get some of the red into the flower arrangement itself, I could add some red berries, some baubles, some festive decorations. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to add in this red and sort of rose gold gingham so that there is a connection between the arrangement and the base. If I just use red, and it's okay, I'm not saying it's not wrong, it's just more attractive, more professional, takes it to the next level if you can get a connection between the two. My accessory, and that's going to go in the centre of my foam, and I've used a plastic candle cup. And then what I've already done, this is going to be one of those short, snappy videos, hopefully in 10 or 12 minutes. I've pre-cut 2 different types of greenery, which are going to give me the base and the outline shape. And really what I've done is I've cut everything to half of the size of my container. And that will give me the frill around the outside, it's going to give me the size, and I've cut enough to cover my floral foam. So this one is needle pine or Pinus strubus. You'll probably have to order this from a florist shop, and I sell it in bunches like this, and you hopefully will be able to find that in your florist shop, and you will definitely be able to order it. I've also got this one, which is hemlock. This is western hemlock, and it's not poisonous. There is hemlock that is poisonous. And when I constructed the design here for my customer, I had one extra stem that I didn't use up. So that might come in handy when I make the candlestick arrangement. And because my container was rose gold and I wanted something that was going to connect to those sparkly colours, I've got some Christmas decorations, and if you were on the online Christmas course, then you would have seen me use these before. And it's a long length of fern-like material that I've cut down into shorter pieces to thread through the arrangement and to introduce some colour and a connection to my container. So what I'm going to do first of all, now I have only just cut these, so I'm not going to recut them all, is I'm going to go around the outside. I'm not going to worry about spacing them out perfectly the same, but what I do want to do is angle them downwards so that they're helping to cover that plastic container. And I'm going to go all the way around. It's going to give me a circular shape. I'm not too worried if it's not perfect on either side. You can spend a little bit more time at home if you're more precise and you want things more matching. And then I'm going to move up slightly, so we're going up a tier, and I have cut all these to the same height. So that's going to give me my really, really basic frame, and I'm going to repeat that with my second set of foliage. This is the Hemlock, and what I love about both of these foliages is that they naturally trail. There's some movement in them, so it's going to come down nicely over the edge of my container. In the hat box is a larger leafed greenery. I didn't feel that it was Christmassy enough because that arrangement there was a birthday design. So I'm not going to reuse the greenery. I'm going to keep going all the way up to the top. I'm not looking for pieces that are perfectly matching. It's just there to create that round shape. And everything here is radiating away from the center point. So this is a radial design. There is lots of foam still visible, but I can always fill in later if need be. But I am now going to go in with some of these sparkly bits. And these have just come from an ordinary gift shop or homeware shop. And I'm going to continue that pattern. I'm lucky that I have a turntable because I can keep turning the arrangement around. But what you really need to do with anything that's viewed from all directions is to look at it from different directions when you're making it. Otherwise, you'll end up with all your materials facing forward and you won't have that circular shape that you're trying to achieve. And then my final two, just a bit closer to that candle, and I think we'll have one on the side here. So what I've looked for is a circular outline, an even distribution of the material, and nothing too tall up by the side of the candle because we don't want it to catch fire. I like to start with my bigger flowers first, and I'm going to evenly spread out 3 of the Chrysanthemum Blooms. So whatever flower you can get hold of, if you have an option, go with your bigger flower first. And we're doing that because we can fit them in when there's not too many flowers in the foam and we can accommodate that large head size. And then I'm going to go with my Carnations next because these are the next bigger size. And I'm going to go in between. So we've created that very rhythmic pattern. I've placed in 3 flowers evenly spread out. And now I'm going in between again with 3 flowers to fill in the gaps. And I've mentioned a couple of times on the video tutorials, I've created here a triangle effect, which is repeated all the way around. Now the next part becomes a little trickier because I've only got 2 roses that are the same colour. So I can't create that pattern of 3. So this time I'm going to go opposite. So one is facing me effectively, and then I'm going to turn it all the way around and place it in the opposite side. If you need to remove any damaged petals, do it before you place it in the arrangement. And then I've got 2 of that really lovely colour opposite one another. So the colour is fairly evenly distributed again, and that's really what it's all about. Even distribution of all the different materials that you've got. Now also in that bunch was another carnation. So this one is going to come up towards the top. And on the opposite side of the candle, I'm going to place the ilex berry. Now, isn't that just fantastic? This is a set of florist grade flowers that I originally used to create the design. And although I have other flowers here that I could add to it, I just wanted you to be able to compare the two different styles of the hat box that we looked at in the very beginning and this more raised design. I'd cut off some of the side shoots of the ilex berry, and I'm just going to pop that in all the way around so the colour is lovely and evenly distributed. Also in the hat box arrangement was the blue Eryngium, and because the Eryngium is small and it's a spray flower, this is going to work better towards the edge, so that's going to nestle in amongst my foliage outline that I created right at the very beginning. And blue is a recessive colour, so blue is going to disappear and you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, which is a good reason why you should stay to the end of the video, because at the end of the video you'll see close-ups of all the individual flowers and the finished design. And to finish off, I'm going to go all the way around, adding in this beautiful champagne sort of coloured spray rose, which is going to link all my colours together really nicely. I don't want to make these any longer than my greenery because the greenery has already created my outline and my shape. But the little small flowers, we tend to call these secondary flowers, and this helps to connect all the big shapes together. And big shapes always go towards the middle because they're the focal flowers and the more dominant flowers. That did just fall out. And the smaller flowers go towards the outside because they're lighter and have less visual weight to them, so it doesn't pull your eye out to the outside. These are just delightful. Now, spray roses are really a florist grade material. They do sometimes pop up in supermarket bunches, but if you're looking for something really exciting for Christmas, then you might want to order them with your florist shop. If you're new here, then welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sharon. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then it's time you did so. Press that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. Like and comment in the box below and share with your friends and family and any flower clubs or gardening clubs that you might go to, because it's really important that I get this channel to grow. Looking at a design really close up like I'm doing at the moment makes it hard for me to establish whether or not I've created a good shape and a good outline. So sometimes when you see the photos at the end, I've slightly adjusted a few of the flowers. I'm making this without my glasses on as well so I can look at the camera, but I think that's created a fairly good shape. Also in that hat box arrangement were some lovely pussy willows. They're going to be a bit long as they were, but I'll cut them down into more manageable pieces and then distribute them throughout the arrangement. And then I'm nearly done with all of my fresh flower material. And just to finish it off, to get that connection with the red and the flower arrangement itself, I'm going to add in these pretty little ribbon loops that I created. So that's just 2 loops on a florist wire, and I'm going to feed them in. So I've got a Christmassy coloured element which is going to help pick up on the colour of my red candle. And I think that is really, really lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. This is part of the quick and easy arrangements to do for Christmas. If you can't get hold of exactly the same flowers as me, just think about the shape and the size of the flower that I've used and look for something that's similar. If you can get hold of greenery, then you can start by adding more greenery in right at the very beginning and use less flowers. And just think about evenly spreading out the flowers to create an uniformed all-round design. Hopefully that's inspired you to create something for Christmas. As ever, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it really is important. Let me know where you're watching from and I'll catch you for a new Christmas video very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.